Hey guys, this is an important one here because this is going to be a video and a playbook showing you how to get uh, individual level identification of prospects visiting your website. And the main way that we're going to be doing this, and the way that we're going to be doing this in this video, is by using Warmly's UTM parameter. So a UTM in your outbound emails, your outbound sequences, so that when a prospect receives an email from you with this UTM in links taking them back to your website, when they click and when they take an action on your website, you'll know exactly who it was that was doing it at the individual level. So without the UTM, let's say you're emailing a bunch of people from Gong, without Warmly's UTM and links back to your website, and a bunch of people from Gong clicked and came to your website, you'll probably know that Gong was on your website a bunch, which is great. And you'll be able to have a lot of intent data, knowing that Gong has come to your website and done several things. That's a good sign. But by using Warmly's UTM parameter in your outbound emails with links back to your website while you're emailing the contacts that you have in your CRM at Gong, then you'll know when these buyers, when these key personas come back to your website, you'll know who they are and you'll know what they did specifically. So, for example, let's say that you are a company and you want to reach out to and you care about selling to, sales leadership, head of sales, VP of sales, director of sales, etc. You're emailing a bunch of people at Gong, and you realize that, a head of sales from Gong has come back to your website and has done a bunch of things. One, that's important to know that it was a head of sales that did this, and you'll be able to reach out to them again and retarget them, knowing exactly what they did on your website. But two, you'll be able to engage with that head of sales real time via Warmly Slack integration. So if you set up a Slack channel accurately, you'll probably be notified, or if you set up really the segments accurately, so that you will be notified if this key user from Gong comes back to your website. A member of your sales team will be able to get in front of that head of sales from Gong and perhaps give them a demo while they're live and while they're at their hungriest on your website real time, perhaps looking at your pricing page. So all of that is to say that using Warmly's UTM parameter in your outbound sequences or outbound emails in links back to your website is going to be important, because that individual level data is going to provide an incremental level of value and action that you're able to take when prospects and visitors are coming to your website. So how are we going to set that up? Well, the way that we do that is here. I'm in Warmly settings, general settings, and we see on the right email UTM param setup. I will say this looks complicated. It's very straightforward. The only thing to note is that if you're sending emails through HubSpot, you should be looking at this UTM. And if you're emailing people through Outreach, SalesLoft, Apollo, also Gmail, or really most other sales engagement platforms, you'll probably be using this UTM. So I'd say for HubSpot, use this one. For all other ones, use this one. And we'll get into a little more detail on this in just a second. But the only difference between these is the dynamic recipient email field. So for HubSpot, right, like maybe it's recipient, or maybe it's field for first name is first.name. I know a bunch of these SEPs have their first name field be first.name. For recipient email, HubSpot's is contact.email. And for recipient email, Outreach, SalesLoft, Apollo, and most of the other platforms is just email. That's the difference. That's why there's a discrepancy here. So I'm going to show how to set this up in HubSpot. But for all other sales engagement platforms, instead of basically where I'm typing contact.email, you're typing email. That's going to be the only difference here. Everything else works exactly the same. So if I go into HubSpot, you'll see that I have a beautiful email here to send to my prospects, and I have a link in it. So this is only going to work in emails. So it's not going to work in LinkedIn links. It's not going to work in text messages. It's going to work in emails, and it's going to work when you're linking back to your website. So not if you're linking to a random Calendly page, not if you're linking to Google or Facebook, unless you are Google or Facebook. It has to be linking back to your website. So you're sending an email with a link back to your website. Then what you're going to be able to do is when you're taking a look at the link, before knowing this data, this information, I would probably just be linking back to Warmly, right? We have a link back to our website, so you can come to our website and learn more. But now that I know I can use Warmly's UTM parameter to get individual level identification in Warmly. I'm going to go back to Warmly. I'm going to see, okay, I'm in HubSpot, so I'm going to use this first one. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to head back here, and I'm going to click paste. So now what we have is the link back to our website and the UTM parameter. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to click apply. So now when I send this email out, I'm not just linking back to Warmly, but I'm linking back to Warmly with the query parameter. If this was Outreach instead of HubSpot, I would have done the exact same thing. I just would have used this query parameter after warmly.ai instead of this query parameter, this UTM. Now, the only thing you need to recognize with these is that if your sales or marketing team is already including UTMs in their outbound emails in links, so like for example, if they have a UTM that's like UTM underscore source equals email, UTM underscore medium equals something, then you'll just want to apply the Warmly UTM with an ampersand at the very end. At a high level, just to help you understand why, the first UTM is going to come after a question mark. That's how the link is going to know there's a UTM coming, is because of the question mark. All subsequent UTMs after the first one are going to come after ampersands. So the first one is the question mark. Subsequent UTMs have the ampersand. So in most cases, I think you'll probably just be adding the first UTM, which is going to be the Warmly UTM. And so that's going to be the first one here and the first one here. But if your sales or marketing team already have UTMs and links, then you're going to be adding the one with the ampersand. Pretty simple, simple as that. And this is what it'll look like, right? All of your links, I mean, you can do what you want, but the Warmly recommendation would be that all of your links, or as many links as you can, have this query parameter. So you're always able to track these individuals coming to your website, and you can get individual level data of people coming to your website. Once they come to your website, we'll be able to cookie them, identify them, so that when they come back, we'll be able to continue telling you what these key prospects they are emailing from your CRM are doing while on your website. Okay, the one other thing that I want to do here is just show you kind of what's going on. So let's go to Warmly. Let's go to Warm Calls to see who's on our website. So if I were to come to our website, just warmly.ai, scroll around for a little bit, I'm perusing, and go back to Warmly, I'm going to see that Ryan at warmly.ai, Ryan, Warmly, I'm in London, England, is on the website. Great. But if I go to an incognito browser, I type in Warmly, and I go to, and I apply one of these query parameters. So I do basically what would be done if I was a prospect clicking a link. I said w_email equals Ryan at gong.io. So let's say that the person being emailed here was Ryan DeForest at Gong, and they clicked the link. This is what would be put into their browser, because it would pull that dynamic email field, and you emailed Ryan at gong.io, so it would put it into the browser. And then when they scroll on your website, you're going to see, oh, wow, looks like Ryan DeForest at Gong is actually on our website. So instead of just saying Gong, right, unknown user at Gong, we'll see Ryan DeForest at Gong is on our website. We'll be able to click in. We'll be able to see what Ryan, the director of sales engineering, is doing while he's on our website. And then we'll be able to engage with Ryan from there. So hopefully that makes it clear why this is so important, why this is so helpful. And we're going to be able to see all of this individual level data right here in Warm Visitors. So we'll go ahead and let it load, and we can see, all right, so Ryan DeForest, yep, he was on our website, and have a bunch more information about who's coming to our website at the individual level, because we're including these Warmly UTMs throughout the process. Thank you.